This is Fowler with Makery and Mischief, and this is Primitive Traps 101. Today we're doing a bird trap. For materials, got some sticks from the woods. If you wanted to and you were in a primitive situation, you could build this entire trap just by snapping things and cutting some rope that you might have on hand with a rock, smashing against another rock or something. But for purposes of getting it done in a reasonable amount of time, I like to use this stuff right here. It's a flat webbing, and the inner fibers can be pulled apart, and that's what we're going to do. Each strand has a strength of probably the same amount as paracord. They're about the same size, but unlike paracord, this stuff doesn't stretch. That's why I like it, and I feel like everybody who's doing homestead stuff should have some of this stuff on hand. About 1/2 inch wide, and it's sold as shrink rope at boat companies for shrink wrapping boats. And then for other tools, we got the Mora blade that I've made my own handle for here. I call this the dragon's finger. Super sweet, sharp blade. Keeps quite an edge. In fact, I have to make sheaths for it all the time because it goes right through the sheath and out the other side and into the ground half the time. And also, not completely necessary, but useful, the small folding blade with a the Japanese style tooth on it, and this was just a $5 version that they sell with like the Coleman camping stuff at Walmart. It's not as good as some of the expensive ones, but works pretty darn good anyway. Alright, first thing, I'm going to strip a couple fibers out for the bird trap that we can use to put it together. You're going to need 2 fibers to hold the bird cage that you're going to make together, and you're going to need 1 or 2 more fibers for the trigger mechanism for the trap. Strip those out of your paracord or any other inner rope, that way you get as much use out of it as possible. And you can keep it nice and fine. Once again, I love this stuff, doesn't stretch. 3 strands of this, the webbing, wove together. Keep that in your truck 20 feet long. You can pull your friends out of the ditch when they slide off the road in the wintertime. Alright, so now you got your 3 strands of this. You need to make the pieces for the bird cage. Do so by either using a saw or by hand, just breaking it. Alright, as you can see, I've broke all the sticks into diminishing lengths right here, and I've picked my 2 main sticks for my traps and tied a little square knot and a couple extra half hitches so it doesn't come loose. Don't worry about it. If you can't tie a knot, just tie a lot. And now I have my strings tied diagonally from my main stick here to the opposite corner of the main stick there, from my other end of the main stick here to the other corner of the other main stick. And then you pull up your strings like this and put your fingers through here, and you could tell, because you're going to build like a pyramid with sticks in between here, how big it's going to be approximately. If you find it's too big and you're not happy with that, you just do a little half hitch on the end around your stick, put that there, and do 1 on this side. This stick's smaller, so maybe I'll do 2. They stay approximately equal length. Let's see how that looks. Now this one's tight over here, but this one kind of ends up a little bit short. So I'm going to put, like I said, I thought would have to do, put another half hitch just around the end so it chews up some of the line, or you can just retie it. Now you got it all figured out, and these both set equally tight when you put your finger up through the center. Right there. Now we'll take it and weave in your other sticks to build your bird cage. Now the beauty of this trap is, if you can just, like I said before, you can just build it out of broken stuff, and you just basically put 1 stick in one direction and 1 stick in another direction, and once you get to the top, the pressure of the strings being here, will hold it all together. There you go. You know you've gotten it tight enough when you can lift up on it and it doesn't shift or try to slide apart on you. And now, when you're building your triggers, always use dry wood. You don't want green stuff because it sticks. It doesn't release well at times. There are some traps that green wood won't even make a difference, but figure fours and pretty much any other trigger, you want it dry, and dry because it's hard. It's firm, and it's going to, each part is going to grab as lightly as possible to the next part of the trigger, so that the slightest agitation of the animal coming to eat the bait or tripping, in this case will be a trip strings, inside the cage will set it off. So you got your propping up stick, which we're going to cut in half, and a toggle, which is going to be tied to the strings, that'll go in the middle of the cut. So cut your stick in half. You can either do so by taking your knife and scoring it all the way around, and a lot of times that will work just fine and it'll come apart good. I'll try it this time. If not, we have to get another stick. It's not snapping the way I want it to, so I'm just going to cut through it with the saw. That'll make two nice flats that can go back together. Like so. Alright. So under pressure, that will stay like that. Now we got to make room for the string with the toggle to go between these two sticks, so that when the bird hits that string, it pulls the sticks apart and the cage falls. To do that, I take my knife, make a cut. It doesn't have to be a deep cut. Be very careful when you're cutting towards yourself like this. Just a little notch spot. You might not even have to do it in both pieces. Let's say we just do it in the bottom piece. It'll make it a little easier. Alright, so you got a little notch. Cut into it. And we got our toggle, our strings. Let's tie those onto the trap now. Just going to tie a little loop. Make a little noose. Make a double noose so we can cinch around the stick. And put it on the end of my main stick, right where my other string is. And then run that forward. All right. Now, I want both of these to end on my toggle right at the front. So it'll be like this. And once they hit these strings on the inside, because they're going after the stuff, it will fall and they'll be trapped in there. So, I'm going to take this. I think I'm going to take both strings, tie a knot in them. Now they come together here in the middle. Then I can take and tie a clove hitch with both strings at the same time around the toggle stick. then a little backup knot to prevent the clove hitch from rolling and coming undone. So now, it's hard to see, I'm sure. I got the toggle stick attached to the 2 strings that run to both back corners. Take my stick here. I want to place that stick on a stone or something, maybe a little splinter of wood so it doesn't sink into the mud or dirt, depending on where you put it. And you got your little toggle stick, and then the other stick placed on top until you achieve a proper balance. The more tipsy you can make it, the better, I think. Alright, now you can see the strings going from the back corners, coming to your split stick, the string running through the split stick notch, attached to the little toggle stick right here. And the whole thing is very precarious. The idea is the bird comes in, tweet, 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 and eats, and it falls on him. And now he's trapped inside there, he's alive. So if he's endangered, or you're just trying to catch your neighbor's parakeet for him and earn some points with the girl next door who lost her chickadee or whatever, there you have it. Now let's set it up and see what happens. See if I can't catch that mourning dove that's been coming down here and eating all my grass seed. And let him go when it's done. There you go, little bird. There you go. So place your jacket over your bird trap and keep that way your bird doesn't can't escape. And you captured yourself a bird with your bird trap. Say hi, little bird, and then we let him go because we're not hungry today. Have a good day. Subscribe and follow along, and then get your butt out there and have your own adventure.